Hey everyone, and welcome to World Heritage Journey, where today we're at Røros Mining Town and the Circumference in central Norway. So this is the copper mining town of Røros in central Norway, where for 300 years, starting in the middle of the 17th century, copper was mined and smelted. It's a fantastic example of what an early industrial town would look like, and it's notable as well because of its survival in such a harsh environment. Let's have a look around. The building that you can see behind me is the copper smelter, and it's the center of the action here in Røros. This is where the copper was smelted and the ore was turned into useful copper. Now it ran 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it was a dirty, noisy, hot place, very, very awful and very trying to work in as well. Now the building you can see is actually a replica. It was built in 1988 because, well, smelting copper, of course, requires very high temperatures, and when you combine that with wooden buildings, they did have a lot of fires. I just love the way you can see how the mining and the smelting has impacted the landscape, like these rolling hills that you can see behind me. They're actually made out of slag, which is just junk or waste material from the smelting process. We're just across the river from the smeltery here, and they actually at one point had a railway to dump the material straight across the river into these huge heaps. So this is Slag Road, where the poorest folk in town lived, and it's literally in the shadow of the slag heaps that you can actually see at the end of the street. And they're really crude dwellings as well. They're just hunks of wood, they've got turf for roofs, and they're very small, and they would have been very crowded as well. And the conditions out here would have just been so harsh because Norway is a fairly cold country, but we're actually up about 700 meters here above sea level, and the winter lasts for about 9 months. You would get temperatures all the way down to minus 50 degrees Celsius, which is just unthinkable, I think. So this is the most important building in town, the church, and it stands right in the center on top of a hill overlooking the town. You can see it from pretty much anywhere. Now it was built at the end of the 18th century, and it was actually paid for by the copper mining company. You can actually see the logo up near the top of the steeple. And what I find incredible is that it seats over 1,600 people, making it still one of the largest churches in Norway. Now I should mention as well the Circumference, which is literally just a big circle around the town, and inside of that circle the copper mining company had exclusive access to any resources they wanted, whether it was water, timber or labour. But it's been a fascinating stop here. It's a really quaint and charming village. There's quite a bit to see, and the beautiful houses are really interesting to look at as well, and I've really enjoyed today. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Joel on the road, and I'll see you at the next World Heritage Site.